Page 12, Moonlight Waltz. 3/4 time, no sharps or flats except for accidentals. So we have C major or A minor. If you look at the last measure up here, it's a C major chord, so I'm guessing this is in C major. Right hand first. I like the fingering. Look at these first 4 notes. Here, here. That's a chord. It's a C chord in the second inversion. And that's the fingering, this 4th finger on the E. I like that. So that 1, 2, and then 4/3. I like the idea of using different fingers on repeated notes, and they're doing that here. That's nice. So here, here, here. Eventually you want to get to where you can do that without looking at the keyboard for it. Feel your way. Second line, same thing, almost. 5, 4, 3. And then lift up the end of a phrase. And here I don't agree. They're saying 5, 3, 2. This is a chord, and it's 4th finger on the A, not 3. So use 4th finger. And the same thing on the next measure. 4th finger on the G. And then here. And then lift up, it's the end of a phrase. And that's kind of an interlude, just one measure. It just connects the 2 parts of the song together. Sort of. And you do all that again. Let's go over to page 13, 3rd line down. Now you're ending the 2nd line here. And they want you here. What you can do to prepare for that is after you play that A, put maybe 3rd or 2nd finger or some other finger on it so that you can reach the D next time. So the last 2 measures of the 2nd line would be here, and then maybe a 3rd finger or 2nd finger, either one, and do it immediately. And then that way at the end of the line, when you're ready, you can lift up and go on. That's a D, by the way. And they're saying this is 3rd line, 3rd measure, 2, 1, 2. I don't care for that fingering. It's okay. Use it if you want, but I prefer a 2 and then just stay in this position. 3, 4, 5. For the last line, they're saying a 1, 3, 1. That's okay. But if you look at these notes, the A here and here and here, that's a chord and that's the fingering for the chord. And if you play these one at a time, it's an arpeggio. And that's the fingering. So I just go here. So either it's a 1, 2, 4, 1. Or if you'd rather than using that fingering, you can use this fingering. It's the same arpeggio, it's just slightly different. So you start with 2, 4 here. There are different ways of fingering these, and they're fingering too. It's just the idea of using 1, 2, 1 or 1, 3, 1. I prefer to use other fingers, so I don't use the thumb quite so much. It's just a personal thing. You use whichever fingering you feel is. Practice these and see what is important is you connect these with the fingers. Legato. And then on that is the 3rd finger, and substitute the 5th finger immediately, because you got to hold it down while you play the last measure. You're just adding that other C to it. For the left hand, the broken chords. Their fingering is fine. Moving around quite a bit, but that's fine. Down at the bottom, page 12, you're here and here. If you don't want to put a thumb there, you can do a 4, 2 here, and then here. That is an F, G, and a B natural. And it's a B natural anyway. They put the parentheses around the natural sign because that's just telling you, oh, by the way, this is a natural, because it's they don't need the natural sign. It's a natural anyway. The B flat from the before is only good for that measure. And that's tied, and then you go back to what you were doing before. On page 13, 2nd line, you're here, and up here, B flat. And if you don't want to use the thumb on the C sharp, then use 4, 2. But thumb's okay if you can. And here. And then the third line last measure. They're saying 5, 1, 3. It's kind of awkward no matter how you do it. You got to move your hand because this distance to this distance is quite a ways. So they're fingering. Now there's a retardando right before that, so you're slowed down a little bit. And which finger you put on the black key is up to you. The 3-1 is fine. If it's easier for you to aim your third finger, use that. And then you come back down. That is a B, F. And then the last one, that's an E. And if it's easier for you, put third finger on the G. That way you can reach the E a little easier. Connect them with the fingers. And that's tied to the end. So you work it out one hand at a time, and then attempt to put them together slowly. Very slowly throughout the whole thing. When you go over to page 13, let's go down to the third line. You're here. Make sure you're holding these half notes down in the left hand. Here. And then the last line, however you finger it is up to you. So at the end you have 3 notes down. Do it really slowly and you can gradually speed it up over time as you get to know it a little better. Dynamics, that's to the melody, that's to the right hand. Sort of loud at the beginning. Etc. Until you get down to the bottom of the page, then you start getting softer. And now you've come down just a little bit to medium soft. There's not a lot of difference between moderately loud and moderately soft. It's just a little bit. So at the top of page 13, you're just a little softer than you were at the beginning. Second line, you start getting louder. Don't get loud until the third line. So you have 4 measures in the second line to get from moderately soft to loud. Plan it out. Now when I do this like a measure at a time. So it's like the first measure of the second line, I'm going to stay moderately soft. And the second measure, I'm going to get just a hair louder, not much. And the third line, I'll be almost medium loud. And that now I'm going to increase the left hand a little bit. Because I can't crescendo on the right hand. Once I play the note, it dies away. So I have to give the illusion of this crescendoing by playing the left hand louder. Yeah? And now the right hand takes over the loud, and the left hand has to get soft again. And all of that's loud. And then you come down for the last line, medium loud, like you were at the beginning. And then you die away to soft. It's like each note here can get a little softer. Here. Then we can add the pedal. They're overlapping pedal, and that's fine, I suppose, if that's what you want. But I want to hear the phrasing, so I'm going to pedal it accordingly so I can hear phrasing in the right hand. There's no phrasing in the left hand to speak of, so we're just going to play the left hand legato as best we can. It's overlapping pedal, so the notes were played, and then the pedal. And I'm going to change the pedal after I play the notes, and then each measure. Simile means keep doing it that way. So you're going to change pedal on each measure. However, I still want to hear the phrasing. So at the end of the first line, I'm lifting the pedal with the right hand. The left hand's legato, but the right hand comes up for the phrase. And I want the pedal to come up with the phrase also. So it's here. Same thing at the end of the second line. And again, the third line, between each phrase, I'm lifting the pedal up with the right hand. The left hand stays legato. So starting third line. And now hold that, now left hand's tied there. Now, I disagree with this. They got the pedal down. And this is dying away. You're coming to the end of this musical thought, and you're going to start again. I'd like the sound to die away. I can't do that if I'm holding the pedal down like that. I got to get rid of some of that sound. So what I'm suggesting you do at the bottom here, the last two measures, you're here. Lift the pedal up with the hand so we get a phrase. And just don't pedal that measure. Let it go. It's a nice contrast between all this legato stuff we've been doing before. And then you can start pedaling again at the top of page 13. So to demonstrate that, the bottom, the last line on page 12 going on, it's this way. To lift both hands, and there's just a speck of silence before we finish it. There, I'm holding it down. It's an interpretive thing. At the end of the third line on page 13, if you don't want any silence before you go on, then go ahead and overlap pedal that. But I like to finish that thought before I start the next one. So it's here. How you pedal a piece might depend on how fast you're going too. It makes a difference. Moderately fast like this, I don't worry about blurring these eighth notes they've got. And going down to the third line here, I don't worry about blurring those too much because it goes by really quickly. But if I'm going to go slow on these eighth notes, I would not pedal them so much, like at the, so I don't have to pedal the last beat there, here, and at the third line down, I wouldn't pedal the first beat because of the eighth notes, so it's, like so. So if we go slow, I would do it that way. If we go faster like it's supposed to go, I just pedal it through, doesn't matter, and that's the pedal. I like to play it slowly, and if you want to double check the notes, play along with me to make sure you've got the right notes and rhythms. I'm not going to do dynamics or any of that, but just the notes and the rhythms and the phrasing and the pedaling, about everything except dynamics. And I'm going to go really slow. It says moderately fast. What's moderately fast to you? For a waltz? That's what it is. Maybe it's different for you. I tend to retard there. There's no retard written. I just feel a retard. However, I'll give us 3 counts, and let's do this slowly. 1, ready, go. 2. 1, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, off.